Hello students, here Himarisha. Today we are going to see the important questions of operating system. So in third semester you know about the operating system. We have already seen the 2 marks questions. Now the descriptive questions here. So let's begin with the first question, that is what is an OS. So we have already seen in 2 marks, that is the operating system handles your computer needs by finding the resources, applying the hardware management and providing the necessary services. Okay, operating systems are essential for the computers to be able to do everything they need to do. So basically operating system manages the hardware and provides the interface between the application program, or we can say user, and software. Okay, so an operating system communicates with the various parts of your computer. It sends the information and from your computer hardware and desire the application or action in order to carry out the request. Okay, so this is about the what is in OS. What is an OS? Second question, explain the needs of operating system. So operating system as a platform for the application program, that is the operating system provides the platform on top of which the other programs called the application program can run. Okay, so these application programs help to user to perform the particular task easily. So it acts as an interface between the computer and user. It is designed in such a manner that operates the controls and execute the various application on the computer. Next, managing the input output unit. So here the operating system also allow the computer to manage its own resources such as memory, monitor, keyboard and printer. So these are the resources that allows the computer to manage. Okay, management of this resources is required the effective utilization. The operating system controls the various system input-output resources and allocates them to the user or program as a requirement. Okay, so here it is. The second, that is the managing the input-output unit. Okay, next the consistent user interface. So consistent user interface, that is the operating system provides the user easy to work user interface, so user doesn't have to learn the different UI. Okay, so consistent user interface, that means what? It provides the user to easy to work with the user interface. Okay, and that is a focus on the content and productive as quickly as possible. So operating system provides the templates, user interface components to make the working of the computer really easy for the user. Next, that is the multitasking. So operating system manages the memory and allow the multiple programs runs in their own space and even they communicate with each other through the shared memory. So multitasking, that means what? It manages the memory and allows the multiple programs to run their own space, even the communication. Okay, so here it is. Now the third question, that is explain the process life cycle. This is the most important question for the GTU. First start, then ready, then running, then waiting, and then terminated. These 5 are the state of process life cycle. So start, this is the initial state when the process is first started and created. Then second, process is waiting to assign to the processor. That means the ready process are waiting to have the processor allocated to them. Okay, so that is done by the operating system so that they can run. Okay, Usually what happens, the process may come into the state after the start state, on while running it but interrupted by the scheduler. So to assign the CPU to some other process. So you have to keep in mind for this state come after, means run after the start state, right? Then this process is waiting to be assigned to the processor, and then ready process are waiting to have the processor allocated to them by the operating system. Okay, so these are the content for the ready state. Next, running state, that is once a process has been assigned to the processor by the OS scheduler, then process state is set to the running and process executes its instruction. Okay, so running mode, that means what? Your execution is started already, right? Ready means what? You are ready for the execution. Here the execution process is started. If suppose any input output event waiting, right, that means once the process is finished, its execution or it's terminated, that means the terminated. Okay, but if suppose the process moves into the waiting state, if it needs to wait for the resource, such as the waiting for the user input and waiting for the file become available, so up to that, it will be still in the waiting mode, or we can say waiting state, right? Once it is fulfilled all the requirements, then it will be goes into the ready state. So here the diagram, sometime it will be asked like draw the process life cycle. Then you have to draw this figure first. That means new state. New state, that means the start. Okay, so new state, here we have seen once the initial state is there, then we can say that is the new. So whenever the first process is created, then it will be stay in the new state, right? Then it will be admitted, and that will be goes down in the ready state. Okay, so ready state, in ready state what happened? The process is waiting to assign to the processor, and ready processes are waiting to have the processor that is allocated to them by the operating system. Okay, once schedule dispatch, then it will be goes into the running state. Okay, so in running state, that means what? Your execution is started, right? And whatever the process has been assigned to the processor by OS scheduler, that is process state is set to be running and executing its instruction. But if suppose the interrupt arise, then it will be goes into the ready state, right? So that is the ready and running state. Now if suppose the interrupt is not derived, so that will be goes into the terminator state. Okay, so this is about if suppose the running state is there, but input output event wait is there, then it will be stay in the waiting mode, right? Once it fulfill all the requirements, then it will be goes into the ready state, and then running, then terminated. Okay, so this is about the process life cycle, right? And this is the most important question. Next, explain the necessary condition for the deadlock to occur. So a deadlock situation can arise if and only if following four conditions the follows, right? So first, that is the mutual exclusion. Second, that is the hold and wait. Third, that is the no preemption. And last, that is the circular wait. So if and if only following four conditions are held simultaneously in the system, then and then we can say the deadlock arise. So first, that is the mutual exclusion. So at least one resource is held in a non-shareable mode. That is only one process at the time. That is can be resource. Okay. If another process requests the resource, then the requesting process must be delayed until the resource has been released. So at least one resource is held in the non-shareable mode, and that is only the one process at a time that can be used by the resource. Okay, if another process requests that the resource, then requesting process must be the delay, or we can say the waiting until the resource has been released. Second, that is the hold and wait. So there must be exist a process that is holding at least one resource, and that is waiting to the acquire the additional resource. Okay, that is currently being held by the another processes. So this is about the hold and wait. Next step, no preemption. No preemption, that means what? The resource cannot be preempted. That is, the resource can only be released voluntarily by the process holding it after the process has been completed its task. So here we can say that the resource cannot be preempted. That is the most important thing. That's why we are saying that the no preemption, right? And then the circular wait, there must be exist the set of the waiting process such that the P0 is waiting for the resource which is held by the P1, right? So P1 is waiting for the resource which is the held by the P2, and up to the whatever the processes are there, that is waiting for the resource which is held by the P0, and P0 is waiting for the resource which is held by the P1, right? So this these are the some conditions to, necessary conditions for the deadlock occur, right? Or we can say that the Pn is waiting for the resource which is held by the P0. That is all about the condition for the deadlock occur. Okay, next explain the deadlock and solution to remove the deadlock. So for the elimination of the mutual exclusion, it is not possible to dissatisfy the mutual exclusion because some resources such as the tape drive, printer are inherently non-shareable. Okay, so next eliminate the hold and wait. So nothing else. The solution to remove the deadlock, for that we have to eliminate the following conditions: mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and circular wait. So eliminate the hold and wait, eliminate the non preemption, and eliminate the circular wait. Okay, so these are the conditions, or this is the solution to remove the deadlock. Okay, so this is about the deadlock. So these are the most important questions. Today we are going to see only the 5 questions, and you have to learn very carefully. Okay, if you have any doubt, then you can ask me anytime. Okay, hope you understand these 5 questions. Thank you.